What's up, my Gator Clops? How you doing today? It's Chris here, and today I've got to show you something so darn amazing. I'm pumped for it. This is the Pineapple Factory. Yeah, I'm not joking, guys. The frickin' Pineapple Factory. Check this guy out. He shoots out pineapples instead of road spikes. So if you guys remember my BTD6 ideas video, I basically made up the idea for a pineapple factory. I was totally into this. I think it should be a thing for a really, really long time. So this is a proof of concept video to show Ninja Kiwi that they should definitely freaking put this in the game, even if they think that it might be not that fair, because I think it's a really, really good idea. So, basically what we did was we modded BTD Battles, or he modded BTD Battles. His name's in the description. I'm not very good at pronouncing it, but it's Kevin Rujakers. I'm going to go with that. He even made me a video on how to pronounce, but it's still tough. Those Swedish/Dutch people, they have weird names, and they're really hard to pronounce. So yeah, right now all we're doing is we're just spamming crap tons of pineapple factories. Also, I got to point out that it might seem really, really overpowered right now, but that's because we're also on Bonanza mode, and that's giving me tons of money, which allows me to build a crap ton of these pineapple factories. They're really not as overpowered as you might think once you actually get later in the game. And actually, what I'm going to show you guys is, first of all, we're playing on Bonanza, just kind of having some fun, throwing some random pineapple factories out there, learning the upgrades and all that stuff. And then for the second game, we actually play a real game where we use the pineapple factory as one of our towers. And I find it really, really interesting. So of course, I'm rushing my opponent over here with pinks, and you know, even with all these pineapple factories kind of blowing up right now, they can't even stop the pinks. So he's got to pop a glue gunner down and everything. So it shows that even though they're really good against these reds and the blues in an early game tower, once you get a little bit later on or mid game against these kind of medium level balloons, pinks and blacks, and maybe even zebras and stuff like that, they're not quite as good. So again, a really, really good idea. So what we've got is for a 0-0 spike factory, of course it does the 3-2-1 countdown, and then it does a nice little explosion. It costs only $400, which is a pretty reasonable amount of money. Then you can get the bigger explosions with the grilled pineapples, which make them pop 2 layers already. So now we're doubling the layers. This is where it really comes into play. You can get grouped layer popping power, which no other tower does that. You're popping greens down to reds, as you can see on my side. Then you can move up to versatile pineapples, which are not that important for right now, but they can pop black and zebra balloons. And then you can go even higher up to the 4th tier, and then we're popping 3 layers per balloon. So you check out the spike factory in that very top up there, has gigantic, cool-looking pineapples, and they pop 3 layers per shot. So, like, first of all, this mod is really, really well done. Great job, Kevin. Seriously, I was thinking it was going to be kind of stupid looking mod or whatnot when I heard about it, and then once I finally saw it, I'm like, wow, you really outdid yourself. This looks amazing. The pineapples change over time. He's got the graphics good. He's got the spike factories looking good and everything, and it actually has its own skins. So I'm amazed, honestly, seriously. Like, you know, when I see a lot of these other mods, I'm like, okay, that mod's kind of cool. I kind of like it and everything, and I can't hate on people too much because personally, I'm not very good at making mods at all. I can't make mods basically at all. So, see something like this is really, really cool. So, that's pretty much a 4-2, or a 4-0 spike factory, or a pineapple factory. I'm so used to saying spike factory. It's a pineapple factory, man. So I'm going to get rid of all these guys because it's just making a bunch of kind of complicated things. Now we're going to go to the right side. So the first 2 upgrades are basically faster shooting. So, of course, if you're going to get a 4-0, you want to get a faster a 4-2 because you're going to have a super duper fast, gigantic pineapple shooter, and they're really, really powerful. Then moving over to the right side, after you can pass those first 2 upgrades, you get to the 3rd upgrade, which is a Moab Shredder type pineapple. It's a Moab Shredder instantaneous pineapple. So, I don't know, man. This is the one upgrade on the Pineapple Factory that I'm still unsure about. Even through the proof of concept video, you're seeing that it explodes instantaneously. That actually kind of takes away from the goodness of the pineapple, and it's like it costs money on top of that too, which is kind of weird. So yeah, I'm not super duper impressed with that, but overall it's kind of fun. So here we go, guys. Now we're going to talk about the ability of these spike factories over here. Or pineapple factories. Gosh, man. I keep saying spike factories. The ability is really, really fun. It's not exactly the way that I wanted it to happen. I think it'd be way cooler if there was like a perfect radius. See the radius, the dark radius around it? If a giant circle of those kind of got flown out, or thrown out, and then they explode all at once right after that. It works sort of similar to that, but it's more of like a small radius type of thing. So when we use our ability, it's like shoots out a bunch of pineapples, and of course instantaneously explodes as well, which is kind of interesting for our ability. Now, it would be even more interesting if you had to time it Think about an ability where you had to time it. You had to wait those 3 seconds and then it exploded. So you had to do, it would be a hard ability to use, and that's why I think it would be really cool to have it, instead of an instantaneous explosion, it would be sort of a timed explosion. So that's the only upgrade that I don't like. Of course, pricing would have to get rearranged a little bit and everything, but overall, even at this point, in the very first alpha, beta stage that nobody's ever played with except for us, it's really freaking good. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but it's just so darn amazing to see the Pineapple Factory come to life so darn quickly. So thank you very much, Kevin. You are an amazing person. Alright, so right now, what's going on? So, of course, we're playing Bonanza. So we got a lot of money going on right now. I got an extra boomerang down there and everything. Honestly, I just built the boomerangs and the cobras and stuff just kind of for support towers. I didn't really need them. But I thought it'd be kind of exciting just to have those extra guys just in case. I'm not really trying to win, by the way. We're just kind of testing these towers out and just kind of having some fun. Of course, on a Bonanza mode, I would not have less than 2,000 economy on round 18. That's for shiznit. So we're going to try to do a MOAB and see how well this ends up working. Will a MOAB be able to sneak through his Pineapple Factory defense? Also, what you're noticing is he's building all of his pineapple factories in a spot where all the pineapples are kind of exploding in a singular location. So you can tell it does a good amount of MOAB popping power as well. Maybe even too much MOAB popping power. Pineapples normally do 1 damage to a MOAB. This is doing extra damage, a bunch of layers on this MOAB. So pretty darn intense to do all that damage right there. But of course, these guys are expensive. Don't forget about that. We're talking big monies when we're talking about these pineapple factories. Especially once you get to those abilities and everything. So of course he's spamming a bunch of cobras. He's getting extra money out of those cobras, and he's making a bunch of random camo regen balloons coming out against me. So even with my $16,000, and even with all these random spike factors, I still can't even pop all these balloons. Just random regen balloons are sneaking through. So again, just kind of shows that even with this many pineapple factories, balloons still can leak through. You need to have other support towers and other towers to help yourself out. So now he's going to send out a BFB against me, and I'm going to send out a BFB back against him as well. But will we have enough damage in time, man? We're down to 55 lives already, and there's a bunch of camo regen ceramics coming out against us. We're going to pop the BFB layer, but a bunch of camo regen balloons just snuck through our defense. Even with the battle energy there too late, I ended up losing that game. So no big deal, whatever, man. We were just having fun there. The Pineapple Factory is cool, right? By the way, if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you press the like button for me. If you haven't subscribed yet, man, go and frickin' press that button right now, because you are gonna enjoy it. Alright, so, now we decided, you know what, let's play a real game. Not Bonanza, a real game. We're actually going to try against each other, but of course we're going to use the pineapple factories as one of our towers. We don't really know exactly how to use them just yet. We're still learning. It's a learning process. And what I decided to do is start off with 2-0-0 pineapple factories to pop all these regular balloons. Now, really quickly, what I realized is they have, like, no pink popping power. Like, if I get rushed with pinks, I'm done. I'm pretty much dead at this point. So, he's got a ninja as his extra tower, which is a really good pink popping power tower. So even if I rushed him with pinks, it might be pretty easy for him to defend if he just gets a 3rd tier ninja or even a 2nd tier ninja. He'll probably be okay. I have to go all the way up to a high level boomerang. I don't really have anything else to deal with the pinks. All my other towers are kind of late game towers. So, possibly a mistake on my part. You know, maybe the Pineapple Factory has good combinations to go with it, like a ninja or dart monkeys or something sort of, you know, quick and agile, because the pineapple factories are sort of random. They just throw random explosions and random crap all over the place, right? So, there's certain combinations you need to use with them. Again, just adding to the strategic value of the pineapple factory. I would love to see it in battles. Honestly, I'm not joking with you guys. I would love to see it pop out in battles. It would be so exciting. But of course, I'll wait till BTD 6 if that's what they want to do. You know, I mean, I'll wait. But Ninja Kiwi, man, come on, be my friend. Just do it for me. Just do it for me, please. Anyways, we finally get our 2-3 boomerang over here, and we can pop the pink balloons now. I'm actually doing a kind of counter pink rush. After I got my 2-3 boomerang, I'm like, I'm pretty good on my side, but his ninja can't really pop all of them all that well. So I am overwhelming him just a little bit. The Pineapple Factory, again, does good against those group balloons, but against these higher tier speedy balloons, they're not quite so good. So now we're going to move up to some black balloons as well, but I'm going to balloon energy him on top of that. So he's got his left-sided pineapples up to 3rd tier, or 2nd tier or 3rd tier already. And he can't pop the blacks just yet. We're doing mega damage. We force a battle energy on top of it, but he does get his 3rd tier ninja up as well. And he's going to be able to clean up a lot of these black balloons. But now he's down to 93 lives. So far it looks like we're winning because we've got 150 lives. He's down to 93, but it's still not over. Alright. really intense game, guys. Really intense game so far. Of course, I think the big problem areas, though, is going to be right around round 13. You know, the pineapple factories are good against those grouped balloons, so those regen rainbows and those other random balloons like that are going to be pretty reasonably easy to defend, but you still just aren't guaranteed that they're going to pop them because of the randomness of the pineapple factory. Alright, so I've still just got sort of low-level pineapple factories on my side. And I've got my 2-3 boomerang, which is pretty darn powerful, but I still think I need more defense. So what do you guys think? We can go for a monkey ace, or we can go for a mortar. And I think just because of the camo detection that we need, we're gonna have to go for the mortar, right? But we got up to 500 income already, which is a pretty solid amount to have, and our regen lead rush is doing nothing. So it looks like he already has a 4th tier pineapple factory, and they are annihilating a lot of these balloons. Like, my leads did basically nothing to him. So, the one weird thing about the pineapple factory is the fact that even the 4th tier upgrades are so cheap at this point. It's kind of fun, actually, because you can get a lot of 4th tier towers kind of early on. So he's going to pop a Wizard Ninja Spike Factory combo in here, and I really don't see any crazy weaknesses to his defense. I mean, group balloons might be able to sneak through, but my income's only 500, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to send enough balloons to actually kill him. But of course, I tried with my Zebra Rush, but his pineapples worked out perfectly, popped all those zebras pretty much right away, so that tiny little rush is not going to work against him. I think I need to send out something a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. So I'm going to go for another Zebra Rush fairly soon, once we get enough monies. So, yeah, still that tiny little rush, it doesn't work, man. We just need to do something bigger. Of course, I'm doing a post-commentary right now. I'm not doing a live commentary, so I'm trying to remember what I did, and it's going pretty well, I'd say. So what do you guys, I mean, like, honestly, like, looking back at it, I'm like, what about ceramic balloons? Do you think ceramic would sneak through one of these people's defenses? One of these people's being me or him? I don't know. So we're going to go for another Zebra Rush over here. This time he gets a little less lucky with his pineapples over there, and the zebras do end up just about leaking through. He uses some road spikes over there to defend all the balloons, or most of the balloons, but he's down to 65 lives at this point. Now on our side, we're still doing a decent job, but he's going to start rushing us with some regen ceramics, so the pineapple factories are trying to deal through the layers right there, but it's not powerful enough. We need to use a battle energy on our 2-3 boomerang over here. Still barely surviving against these balloons. We barely survived against those guys. If one ceramic leaks through, that's 100 full lives. So you got to be very careful. So I've got a bunch of money now, though. And of course, we're on round 18. So our biggest weakness at this point is Moab, Pop, and Powa. We don't have any. So we're going to get a Monkey Ace over here. But on top of that, I feel like he's kind of weak against the Moab, so we have to rush him with the Moab as well. Even with all those ninjas, it might be able to sneak through. And if, you know, I don't know. Let's try. Let's see what happens. So, of course, ninjas on top of the pineapples, on top of everything. He does a pretty decent job of popping those guys. And I don't really feel like I need to rush with another Moab right away. So he's down to 62 lives at this point. We got our 2-3 Monkey Ace up at this point, so that's looking pretty good for us. What do you guys think? Maybe a BFB on the next round? Round 20 BFB. That would be difficult for him to defend. But he's got the ninjas, so it's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. So right now, the way we're using the Pineapple Factory is just using sort of low-level Pineapple Factories. I didn't feel like I needed to go too darn high to make them worthwhile. You know, even getting the 3rd tiers are sort of good enough for me. But, of course, I want to show you guys the Pineapple Factory, so I don't want to just chill with the low tier. I want to upgrade them up to as high as I possibly can. If I feel like they're going to be usable, because I don't want to lose this game either. Alright. So he's got a Tornado Wizard Ninja combo over there. It's actually working out pretty reasonably well. You can tell that the Pineapple Factories are starting to become a lot better, though, because there's so many grouped balloons on the screen. Pineapples are actually doing a lot of group damage to these guys, which, again, makes them sort of weird, because they're sort of decent in the early game, sort of weak in the mid game, weird in the mid game, and then kind of good in the late game, so it's weird. Anyways, here's the BFB, guys. He's going to use a 2-4 ninja over there. He's going to try and pop out a 2-4 Pineapple Factory, and he uses the ability of the Pineapple Factory, tries to get our Tornado Mage up there, going to battle energy right here at the very end. Will he be able to send down all those balloons all the way back to the back? Gets the Tornado Mage with the 4-2 ninja, doing a really good job of defending. But it's not going to be enough, and that's going to be the game. So, of course, if you guys loved this Pineapple Factory video, make sure you press that like button for us. Subscribe if you haven't. I will try to get more videos close to this or similar to this in the future if I can. Thank you so much for watching, and have a super duper delicious day.